Hey guys, how you doing? This is JP Saricolia coming to you once again with another episode of Age of Heroes, my podcast. I hope that you're having a great day. But let's get into it. I want to really get into the conversation today. Of course, as you have seen throughout the whole week after Avengers Endgame happened, there's been a lot of talks, conversations, even in my channel. I have the opportunity to review that. On Monday, I have my podcast and I talk about, of course, all my favorite movies in the MCU. I score them all according to, of course, my reviews. And you can actually watch all those reviews, or you can watch that video or listen to that podcast. I have the link below for you, or you can find it on my, of course, in Stitcher, Spreaker, on my page, and on all these sites and iTunes, Spotify. You can find it there. But definitely have fun with that because, you know, it's so much. There's so many movies, and each movie has so much to give. The message itself is great. And I think that's what makes Marvel movies phenomenal in comparison to any other movies. You know, you can compare it to DC movies, Star Wars movies, any franchise, you know, Jurassic Park, you name it. What has made the superhero stories in Marvel so special is because they're cohesive. They're all part of a singular universe, but they maintain the same course and they apply the same elements of any good story, and they're great for storytelling. And definitely, particularly with superhero stories. So today I want to talk about this because I think there are 4 pillars that I want to mention today that have made the superhero stories, the superhero movies, so great, particularly Marvel. Of course, this is something that it's my theory. This is not something that I got from, you know, I call Faggy and I say, hey, Faggy, what is it that makes you so special and make your movie so great? I wish he could tell me the secret. You know, maybe I can sell it and make millions too. But I think it's consistency. First of all, it's consistency. They have been very consistent. So, of course, but follow through all these movies, I really come to the conclusion of the message. You know, I'm a person that loves to dissect stuff, and I love to go through it and really see what makes something great. When you compare Marvel movie with a DC movie, the DC movie might be great art, you know, the art, you know, and the color and all of that. But what makes Marvel movies different and better, in my opinion, is the story. And the story also, there's a secret for those stories. How to create a superhero story that really engages with the audience and make that superhero special. We need to get back to the fundamentals, what makes superheroes great. So we're going to explore that today. Now, there are 4 pillars. I'm going to call this the 4 pillars. So if you want to take notes, take notes. Or just record this and just watch it again because this is important. And if you are the type of person that want to get into creating or writing novels or writing stories of superheroes, you want to get into comics, you want to create stories for novels or for, you know, for TV or for movies, this is the thing. You know, I'm giving this as a free advice. Although I don't have no experience on it, I'm just going to give it to you. Maybe this can help you out. First, there are 4 fundamentals, there are 4 pillars that make superhero movies great and superhero stories in general. Now, the first one is, I call this valor and courage. What I mean by this, the first pillar of any superhero is always valor. What makes a superhero a superhero? You know, a superhero is not necessarily somebody that has, of course, you know, superhero means that, you know, has superpowers, but it's a person that uses superpowers for good, of course. That's what a superhero is. Now, it's standing for what's right. That's important. That's what valor and courage means. It means that you as a person, the hero, has to stand for what's right, regardless of the opposition. And when you look at the Marvel movies, all of them, of course, all the superhero stories are like that, but we're talking about Marvel. You see men and women that they take a stand even against the opposition of others. You see that with Iron Man. You know, he decided to take a stand after what, you know, the experience that happened to him. He decided to go against even the legacy of his own father. What he did was wrong. And, you know, armed profiteering and doing all that kind of stuff. He decides to set things right for his company. And of course, the investors weren't happy. The people around him weren't happy about it, but he said, this is the right thing to do. You see that with Captain America. He is courageous. He's not strong, and he's trying to go to war because he wants to do the right thing. He sees that it's his call to do the right thing. You see that with Thor. You see with all these characters in the Marvel Universe, it's all about being courageous and being brave. It's about taking bold action. And that's something something that is important for any superhero story. And you see through all the different movies in the MCU, you're always going to notice that every character takes a stand. Every character at one point or another in the beginning of the story, they decide to take a stand against oppression, against the people that are trying to, destroy the world, or they're trying to kill other people. They take a stand for what's right. And that's what makes a hero. And that's what makes a great superhero story. It's when you center that message about valor and about courage. Now, the second thing, actually, two things are combined. It's honor and sacrifice. You might say, well, honor and sacrifice are two different things. No, they're not. Actually, they're two different things, yes, but they're tied together. Now, honor, of course, is about standing, for what's right, knowing what's right, and, and really adhering to what is right, following the right rules. That's honor, the honorable thing to do. But doing the honorable thing, and this is the part of sacrifice that goes with honor together, doing the right thing always comes with a cost. Doing what's right always costs something. Just because we know what's right doesn't mean that we do it, and it doesn't mean that it's not going to cost. It's going to take sacrifices. Freedom takes a sacrifice. Somebody defends our freedom as a people, as a nation. People have to take a stand to defend our freedoms. And it's a cost. And people pay the high price for it. And you see that in the Marvel universe. You see that some people and some of their superheroes have paid the high price. If you watch the movies, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to give spoilers even for Endgame, but you know that if you have watched it or if you have heard probably, some of the Endgame superheroes are not going to make it out of there. Who is something that you need to find out. But the thing is this, freedom has a cost, and it means sacrifice. And the great thing about Marvel Cinematic Universe is that that's always do. These are people doing the honorable thing, but sometimes doing the honorable thing means that they have to do things against what, they have to take a stand against other people that are pretty much thinking the opposite of them. Like you see that with Captain America in Civil War. He decides to take a stand for what he believes is right, to defend his friend Bucky. You see Captain Marvel trying to defend the, humanity. You see with the Guardians of the Galaxy, what they do is that they decide, instead of going the other way, they say, you know what, we need to stand our ground and we need to fight, in this case, Ronan the Accuser. So they take a stand, and taking a stand, which means valor and it means courage, it also means a sacrifice. They might not make it out of their alive, that situation alive, because even Rocket said, you asking us to die. He asked, in this case, Star-Lord, and he said, yeah, but who else is going to do it? So yeah, there is honor. Doing the honorable thing always requires sacrifice. And this is another element that is well illustrated in all the superhero stories in the Marvel universe. Now we go into the third element that is important, and I think it's what has made the Marvel universe, the MCU movies, so phenomenal and engaging for people. There's always the family aspect of these superheroes. And it's a big part of these movies. These are family movies, but definitely are movies that have a lot of message in regards to families. No family is perfect. There's always trauma in every family. There's always challenges of every family. There's sometimes things that need to be addressed or challenges. But through all the movies, we've seen this dialogue. Like you see with Iron Man. Through all the movies, he's trying. First of all, he has a bad relationship with his father. He's trying to, in this case, outdo everything he considered his father did wrong. Everything he wants to outdo everything that the father has done, his legacy, because he thinks that legacy is wrong. So he's trying to do it. But throughout the entirety of the movies, till the end, he comes to grips with it. He realized that his father was just a man trying to do the right thing, perhaps not in the best terms possible. He was just trying to be a dad. He was trying to be a good man. So he comes to conclusions with it, and that's a great thing. Thor, his family, he's always trying from the beginning. He has a relationship with his brother. He loves so much Loki, but Loki does his own thing, but he's trying to save his brother from himself. So there's a lot of family engagements. Ant-Man and the Wasp, and they also have family situations. The Guardians of the Galaxy, there's a family. They're misfits. The Avengers, they're all a family. They all come together. They're all misfits, but they come together as a family, and they become a family in themselves. So that's a very powerful message that has always been introduced in these movies, and all the movies in different aspects has dealt with a lot of issues with fathers, with mother relationships, the brothers and sisters, having problems with each other, Gamora and Nebula. So all of that has made these movies phenomenal. They are relatable because, we all have family problems. We all deal with families. We all, I think that's the center of our lives. And it's important to bring that up. And superhero stories that address those issues and become personal, they become more than just mindless entertainment. They become something that it really engages in a personal and emotional level. And I think that's a big part of the film. Now, this takes us to the fourth pillar I'm going to tell you, which actually makes this movie so great, and is hope. Hope. Without hope, there's no way we can achieve anything in life. Life is all about hope. We're looking for hope. We're looking for hope through the people we elect to be our representatives, to be our president, to be the people that are governor, the people that represent us. We're looking for hope, for, hopeful future. Everything we do is about hope. We pay the mortgage, get into a house mortgage because we're hoping that we will pay off that house and it will become ours after it's paid off after so many years. And that will become an inheritance for our children. We go into a job hoping that it will be a career that will keep us safe, that allows us to send our kids to college, to have a good life, go on vacations with the wife, with the kids, all of that, to have all the benefits, so we can retire, peacefully, and our kids can be okay. So it's all about hope. Hope is an important part of life. And what I like about the MCU movies is that they all address the matter of hope. The only movie that was not really as hopeful, and to me, that was Infinity War, because technically it was a villain story. But of course, all of that was changed with Endgame, because, at the end, you don't have to be an expert to know that the good people win. How they're going to win, that's something you need to find out if you haven't watched the movie. But definitely, it's just an amazing thing. So again, all these are four fundamentals that the MCU has been able to address at different levels through all their movies. And all these four elements are very intrinsic parts of the movies. It's about valor, it's about courage, about people that stand for what's right. That's what makes a hero a hero. They make a sacrifice. They do the honorable thing. And they do it for the families, for the people around them, for their friends, because, friends are family to us. And they do it for society. Technically, it's an extended family, because, every city has a village, like I said, a community is a village of people that come in together, and the center of any village is always the family. We are a family. Although we might be different in color, we might be different in our thinking, or even our political views, we are part of this human race. We are all part of the family. We all come from the same people. We are all part of Adam and Eve. That's the principle. We all come from the same bloodline. Yeah, we change in color and all that, but that doesn't mean that we're different. We are all in the same boat together, and that's humanity. And of course, and that's a family. And of course, hope. I think every person is looking for hope. When you come and watch these films, you want hope. And people say, well, I don't like that message. It's always so hopeful. Yes, but it's all about looking at the bright side of things. If you're the type of person that always looking at the dark side of things, then something you need to address. I'm sorry, but it's not, I'm sorry. I cannot change it. Some people are like that. It's the way it is. But there's nothing better in life to see at the bright side of things, or at least to know that regardless of how tough it is out there, or how tough sometimes our circumstances are, there's always hope, and there's always a new day and a new light, and there's always an opportunity. I'm a hopeful person, or I try to be. Doesn't mean that I'm always hopeful, but I believe in hope, first of all, because I believe in God. I believe that he has my back, and, he takes care of everything, my life, my family, my wife, my relationships, my finances, all of that. He takes care of me. And that's what it really is, hope. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoy superhero movies, because I can see life reflected. Some people try to escape reality and go into the movies. And I understand if you're the type of person that like to escape the reality, the tragedy of reality, watching these movies. But to me, going there is also not only to escape the reality of the tragedy of life, but also to enjoy the best part of life. And which is, no matter how great days are or how bad things may be, there's always a brand new day. There's always hope in the middle of things. And there are people that are standing their ground. Superhero stories. This is the great part of superheroes and superhumans, that we always look at the super part, but we don't see at the human part, at the man part. Superman. We look at the super part of Superman. We don't look at the man part of Superman. At the end of the day, he's a man that has powers, but ultimately he's a man. And I think that's the part where we we all stand, and that's the reason we relate with heroes and superheroes. Yeah, they have power, they have capacity, like all of us. You and I, we all have skills, we all have abilities, we all have things and strengths over others. Other people may have other strengths that we don't have, but we all have something to give. We all have purpose. We can do things better. Maybe you are a better mechanic. I'm telling you, I'm not a good mechanic. I don't know how to fix a car, but maybe you can. You understand, a car, a motor, and you can put it together. That's a skill that not everyone has. Maybe you are a good chef. Maybe some people are great cooks. They know how to cook without even going to cook school, and they're fantastic cooks. Maybe you're a person that loves to help and love to be there to help others. In your community, you go and you like to help, and people, maybe you're a type of person, you're so friendly that people like to be around you for advice because you're the type of person that is always smiling. We all have strengths, and that makes us super. That makes us superhuman in that sense, because we have the abilities that others don't have in those areas. And that's super. That's good. That's cool. And you know what? Those are our strengths. And the thing is this. We can stand for what's right. And that's the part, going back to now to the movies, is that's what made the MCU movies so fantastic, is because they have been able to address these 4 pillars in the superhero stories that make superhero stories great, and you can revolve around it and create stories around those simple subjects. Something that unfortunately some movies like in the DCU you don't have. You see the Valor, but some of those heroes are trying to run away from being heroes, or they just not doing the sacrificial thing, or there's no family elements in that film, or there's no hope because everything is dark and soapy and melodramatic. So all these elements, if you take one out of the equation, then you don't have a movie that all the family can enjoy or everyone can enjoy, because have all those messages that really are impactful to us. So definitely it's all about relatable messages and relatable characters. So if you're the type of person that wants to write comics, or you're writing novels that you don't know how to start, just consider those 4 things. If your story doesn't have those elements, then it's not going to be a great superhero story. It might be something different, but not a superhero story. And, you can say, well, I want to be like, write something like Watchmen. Yeah, Watchmen is different. It's a different type of story. Superheroes are jaded, but it approached that. But even Watchmen has all these 4 elements that define the character, because ultimately they do the right thing. There are, heroes that stand for what's right. They sacrifice themselves because they know it's right, and, they care about their own families. They also have family issues in that story. And ultimately it's about hope, because ultimately they win. At least they do what's right, and good humanity wins. So every story is like that, and it needs to be treated like that. So I think these are the secrets. Of course, I didn't ask Feige. I didn't call Marvel and ask him, hey, how is it that you are so successful? But after watching all these movies and really considering all the factors, I really realized those are the elements that make these movies great. But let me ask you this: what is your opinion? What do you think about this? Do you agree with those points, or is anything else you think that is actually make this movies great? Maybe because it's Disney the one supporting it, because it's paying the bill, or it's just because simply people have no standards. I don't know. What is your opinion? I would like to hear it. I definitely think that these are the reasons why their superhero stories, I'm talking about the superhero stories, are so great, so engaging, and people love them because they are well designed on those aspects. So that's the foundation for those stories. So once again, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you're reminded of the next video. If you're listening to the podcast, you can share with your friends. Follow me on social media. You can do that on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The links are down below. And please consider supporting me financially. Your financial support keeps me in the air. You can do that through Patreon. You do it on a monthly basis. You can do that $1, $2, $3, $5, whatever amount you choose. It really helps me out. And of course, you also can do it as a one-time thing. You can do that through PayPal. Or you can do it through GoFundMe. Now, every dollar you give is going to be used for to sustain this channel and the podcast, and to bring better content to you on a daily basis. So once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. God bless you. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.